So let's recap. It wasn't just Stafford. In this trade, Detroit got in 2021 cornerback Ifeatu Melifonwu. In 2022, they got Jameson Williams and Josh Paschal. In 2023, they got Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, and defensive tackle Broderick Martin. And in exchange, the Lions gave up quarterback Matt Stafford to the Rams, won a Super Bowl. Lewis Seen, who hasn't been seen, to Minnesota. Brian Asamoah to Minnesota. Christian Watson to Green Bay. Paris Johnson to Arizona. And a bunch of low pick guys. John Gaines II, Clayton Tune, and Owen Popoe to Arizona, and Tajay Spears to Tennessee. What are you thinking?
I think that, remember, they also got Jared Goff directly. I think I would rather, it's crazy that it's really coming down to Gibbs and Laporta seem like the two promising ones from this trade, and they haven't even set foot on a preseason game yet. It's rough. It's weird too when you think about it, because the Lions have had such good drafts the last couple of years, and they basically did it without.
But none of it from the draft from the picks that happened to come from LA.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless Jameson Williams or Josh Paschal show up suddenly out of nowhere and start doing what the Lions drafted them to do.
Yeah. So
I did that analysis, and as a Lions fan, it was pretty sobering.
It's sad because I think you'd rather have just stood pat at 32 and just taken Tristan Watson than trade up for JMO at this point, because Watson also had injuries his rookie year, but also lit the world on fire for at least a couple of games and showed what he could do. I believe Jameson Williams had one catch the entire season. His highlight was, I think, on a jet sweep when he did score a touchdown, but it was on a run. But I think he only had one.
No,
catch.
It wasn't. It was a legit deep ball.
No, but I thought he had a second touchdown on like a jet sweep or something. But he only had one.
He
catch.
caught one ball all year.
Yeah,
they did hand him the ball like 2 or 3 times. It never amounted to much. Yeah, he caught one catch and immediately pissed off the coach because he spent the last 5 yards turning around, barking at the cornerback and trying to show him up.
So we're both So I'm right. He had a 40-yard. He had one carry for 40 yards and a touchdown, and one catch for 41 yards and a touchdown.
Oh, okay. I'm misremembering.
Yeah, so he had 2 touches for the entire year, but they were very efficient. He averaged 40.5 yards per touch, but also with that much explosiveness, it's weird he couldn't get on the field anymore. And also, by the way, he had one catch, but he did have 9 targets. He caught one catch in 9, 11%. I'm pretty sure Amon-Ra St. Brown's catch rate is a little bit higher than that.
A little bit better. That's another reason that the coaching staff was not too happy with him. Over the last year, and for those of you who are not like local Lions fans, there was massive beef for a decade between the Lions and Calvin Johnson that was only very recently buried. Like after the ownership change when Campbell and company came in. So basically just this last year, they had Calvin Johnson in minicamp actually this year, pretty much just to take Jameson Williams under his wing, which could be the best thing that ever happened to Jameson Williams.
I'm going to hope so. I mean, just perspective, the 11% catch rate, St. Brown in 2 seasons is 74%. I mean, there's an argument that maybe JMO runs longer routes, but also catching more than one would be useful. Pretty sure he's had some underneath cat throws.
He has looked lost at times. And some of that is, he really wasn't in the off-season training programs at any point. He's dropping a lot of balls this year, which is getting reported locally by Lions press, which is usually happy talk time. I mean, Ja'Marr Chase was also widely.
That was famous.
Ja'Marr Chase was also.
He couldn't track the ball without the white stripes that they had in college or something like that, and then he just comes out and puts up like 1,500 yards as a rookie, anyways.
I read he was catching Nerf balls on the offseason and was dropping everything in camp. I mean, Longtime Lions fans might remember Herman Moore's rookie year, which was brutal. And then they found out that he needed glasses.
Oh, wild thing.
So he put in contacts for the rest of his career, and he was, if not a Hall of Famer, then one of the best Lions receivers.
They should get him the wild thing glasses like they did in Major League for Charlie.
I think he might appreciate that. He does. Herman Moore does still make appearances around town. He's got a sense of humor.
Nice.
Let's not talk about the Matt Stafford trade like it's the be all end all, because Matt Stafford won a Super Bowl for the Rams. That's what it's all about. The Lions have hit on a ton of their other picks, and maybe that gave them the ammo to get the whiffs out of the way. Who knows? But
that's true. It might have just been a coincidence that the hits were all the non-Stafford picks, And let's be honest, we should revisit this next offseason because who knows? Jahmyr Gibbs and Laporta and JMO could be all world this year, and Lions could be holding a Super Bowl with those three guys having the ball thrown to by Jared Goff, who all came from that trade. So you never know.
Right.
They could all be bust this time next year, and then Hooker's the starter going into next year.
And all of the same old Lions fans jump on the car and grab the megaphone and say, "We were right," which is sometimes what I think they want. This is Joe Smith from the Midwest Football Podcast. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It all helps us grow our show. Look for our full show, too, anywhere you find podcasts. Links below.